We always focus on getting in, and that's fair. That's really the focus of this show. College planning for high schoolers and everything around that. But tonight we're flipping the script. Tonight we're talking about success in college once you get there. I'll be joined tonight by Dr. Eric Endlich, who works with students navigating college through all kinds of lenses, including neurodiversity. As we talk, you'll hear great tips for those who are neurodivergent or who are in need of mental health support. And I'm all for that, and I hope you follow along if that applies to you. But even if you're not in one of those groups, we also get at tips for success for everyone. So listen up. This could help you succeed in college.
It's the College Talk Show. Today's theme, Beyond Getting In, with special guest Eric Endlich. And now, here's your host, Chris Bell.
Welcome back. My guest today is Eric Endlich, a clinical psychologist and the founder of Top College Consultants, where he helps neurodiverse students navigate college admissions and college life. He's worked with students on the spectrum, students with ADHD, learning differences, and more. I am so happy to have Eric here today. Eric, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
You bet.
It was great to see you at the conference and to see you again here in your studio.
We're talking today about success after admissions and actually in going to college. A lot of students and families put all that energy into getting into college. Why do you think it's important to also think about how they'll thrive once they're there?
Yeah, this is something that comes up a lot, so much so that I actually wrote a blog post called Getting into College is the Easy Part, because there is so much focus in our culture and in our profession on getting into college, the whole admissions process. But that's just the beginning, because frankly, not all students who get in end up graduating with a degree. So we really want to ensure that when they get there, they are ready to make it all the way through. And that involves a lot more than having the transcript, grades, test scores, recommendations, et cetera, to get in.
Yeah, well, let's just go there. I mean, what are you thinking about? What qualities do you think are important to for someone to have success in college?
Well, it's a variety of things. Of course, the academic preparation, but that tends to be more straightforward and easy to assess. You know, if you're taking rigorous, difficult courses in high school and doing well, you probably are prepared academically for college. That's, something we can figure out. And that's something that colleges are assessing when they're deciding to admit you. And that's pretty much primarily what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Yes, we think this student can handle the rigor of the curriculum at this college, but they can't see, can you get yourself up in the morning? Can you self-advocate with the professor? Can you get along with the roommate? There's so many other pieces, social, emotional, neurodivergence. So, one of them, for example, is emotional regulation, which is a fancy word for being able to handle your feelings. There's going to be disappointments in college, just like in any time in life, whether it's, disappointment in a grade you got on a class or disappointment with a social interaction. Are you prepared to sort of bounce back from that and keep going and keep your head up as opposed to get knocked down and kind of give up?
And are there any signs during high school or in the application process that might indicate a student might not be fully prepared for college?
Well, with parents, I encourage them to sort of think about your whole day from the start to finish, the student's whole day. Who's getting them up in the morning? Are they getting themselves up and getting ready for school and remembering to bring any assignments or projects they might need to bring in? Are they making their own appointments, communicating with teachers, managing their health, their hygiene, their self-care, or are parents on the front line sort of fighting those battles with the school, making the appointments, telling their kids, turn your phone off and go to bed, get your homework done. How much are you sort of having to nag, meddle, advocate? And I'm a special needs parent myself. I know what it means to advocate for your kids. But when they go to college, if we're talking about moving out, living residentially in a college, not being with your family or guardians, then students need to do most, if not all, of these tasks themselves. So if you are still doing a lot of those things, getting your kid up, nagging them to get their work done, to remember to turn it in, et cetera, then they're not quite there yet.
Got it.
There's stuff to work on.
You've written about the importance of self-advocacy. How can students build that skill before they head to college?
Yeah, well, one of my colleagues talked about it as um, I do as the parent, we do, and then you do as the
Ah,
student.
ah,
So, sort of gradually shifting that over. If you are the parent who's always being the one to communicate with teachers or other professionals, the school team, the healthcare team, talk to your child about what you do and how you do it. Here's an email I sent. Here's what I said in the phone call. Now, the next time, let's talk about how you can be the one to write the email, and I'll sit with you and we can craft it together, and then go ahead. It should be coming from you. So, kind of gradually shifting
love
that
it.
role over.
For neurodiverse students, what additional challenges can come up in college and how can they prepare?
Well, all of the usual challenges that could occur for any student, but then kind of look at where are the areas that you're getting support in high school. If you're on a special ed plan like a 504 or an IEP, what are the areas that you're getting support in? And do you have those equivalent supports set up or a plan to set them up in college? So the challenge could be social. It could be that you have trouble making friends. And when you start college, in many cases, you're starting with a clean slate. You don't know anybody in college, and you've got to make friends first time maybe since kindergarten or first grade
Right.
because you were with the same kids in your neighborhood throughout school. So there could be socially kind of, working on that. Or it could be executive function. It could be that you've got a lot of support to remember to turn in assignments, teachers reminding you, parents reminding you. And in college, you're on your own in a way.
Mm.
So are you going to set up executive function coaching or academic coaching in college? Do you have systems like calendars, reminders, note-taking apps to help you with whatever those challenges are?
Got it. Got it. Yeah, college definitely feels like you're on your own. I know colleges also say that they offer support services on campus. Are support services on campus all created equal?
Well, I would say that most colleges I've toured, and we've both toured lots of
Mm-hmm.
colleges,
Mm-hmm.
most of them have a wide range of services, and it's easy to overlook. You might just be thinking about, disability services, or maybe you're just thinking about mental health services because your child has a mental health challenge. But I say look at the whole range. Are there clubs? Are there neurodiversity clubs or mental health clubs?
Mm.
The RA in the residence hall can be a good resource. Can you find a mentor in a professor? Can you Is there a tutoring center, a writing center, a math center? So look at all the resources that can help you succeed, not just sort of the obvious ones. And are they all equal? No. I'll take counseling for an example. Most colleges I've toured do offer free mental health counseling to their students. That's great. The devil's in the details.
Mm.
Who's providing the counseling? Is it, trainees? Is it licensed professionals with graduate degrees? How much experience do they have? How much, what do you get in the way of services? Is there a limit to, like, say, 10 sessions a year, or is it unlimited?
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there availability to get prescriptions filled? So look at, kind of dive into the details. Don't just take at face value like, oh, great, they have counseling.
When building a college list, how can families evaluate whether a school will truly support their student once they're enrolled?
I encourage families when they're touring, if possible, to also meet with disability services and or the support program.
Mm.
If there's a support program like a learning support program, which a number of colleges have, or an autism support program, if the child's on the spectrum, those may or may not be run out of disability services. So you
Mm-hmm.
may actually want to have one meeting with disability and one meeting with the program if they're two separate departments. I have a list of questions available, on my website that, as far as like, what do you ask them when you
Great.
have these meetings, so that you can kind of get a feel for who you're going to be working with for 4 years. Do they seem well staffed? Do they seem well qualified? Do they seem pleasant to interact with? And do they have the depth of services? Because All colleges, for the most part, have disability accommodations like extra time on tests and distraction reduced, seating for tests and things like that. But that doesn't mean they have supports and services like academic coaching, peer mentoring, social events, etc.
What's one myth you wish families would let go of when it comes to college success?
Well, you and I probably, and a lot of our colleagues probably share this one, which is that getting into a prestigious college equals success in life after college. Uh, to be clear, the research shows that for specific groups, minoritized students, students of color, underserved, low income, first generation students, for those students, it can be a game changer if you don't come from a privileged background to get into that network of important contacts and so on. But for most students, success in college and after college has to do with what the student does in college, not which college they get into. So, do you find a mentor in college? Do you get involved in a club or sport or other activities? Do you do study abroad? Do you do an internship, research? Do you take full advantage of all the opportunities? And that is going to help determine success in life, not the name of the college that you went to.
If you could magically instill one skill or mindset in every incoming college student, what would it be?
Well, I think it would probably be the growth mindset. This idea that we are always growing and there's always room for improvement because you're going to hit challenges and roadblocks. And you don't want to have the mindset of like, oh, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Of just seeing it as sort of a speed bump. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. How can I deal with it? How can I solve it? Who can help me solve it? And taking that with you through college and beyond.
Eric, how can people contact you if they'd like to learn more about you or top college consultants?
Sure. Well, you can start by looking at the website. That's
Great.
topcollegeconsultants.com, or you can email me at Eric, E-R-I-C, at topcollegeconsultants.com.
Fabulous. Thank you for your time. Thanks for the great tips. I think that was some really great information we got from Eric. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Bell College Consulting. Visit bellcollegeconsulting.com to learn more.
This is the part of the show where we pull out the key points from earlier in the show. It's kind of a summary of the key takeaways. I call it Top Tips.
Top tips. Top tips. Kind of a summary, but we call it top tips. Top tips.
Top tips for success in college. Number 5. The key factors that are important for college success are academic preparation and doing all the things you need to do on your own, like getting up in the morning or being a self-advocate with a professor or getting along with a roommate, all the social stuff and emotional regulation. Number 4, have systems to get things done. We're talking calendars, reminders, note-taking approaches, that kind of thing. Number 3, know all the resources on campus that are there to help you succeed and use them. Sure, disability services, mental health services, but also other things like clubs, maybe the RA, a mentor, a tutoring center, the writing center, the math center. Number 2, success in college and beyond has to do with how involved you are in college, not necessarily the college you go to. And the number 1 tip regarding success in college is have a growth mindset. That's your top list. Let's thank Dr. Eric Endlich for a great conversation. Whether or not you're in need of disability or mental health services at college, there are a bunch of other things you can do to help your success in college. And that's what we want for you because college is awesome.